friends, my name is Kylie Kingham and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor from Australia. I'm so happy to be here today for the Worldwide Crop event, and I'm going to share a few tips and tricks I've used to create my layout following sketch number 3. I've created my page from the fabulous vitamin C collection, as well as used some of my favourite tools. One of the things I love about creating layouts from a sketch is the flexibility they give you. You can follow the sketch exactly, or you can add your own unique spin on them. That's what I have done today with my layout, which I'll share with you now. The first step that I've taken to create my page today is to print my photos and to back them. You can see that the sketch allows for 4 3x4 photos that have been backed with some paper there. You can see there's a nice lovely frame that goes around evenly each of the photos. I've worked with some navy blue cardstock that I've trimmed to 10 centimeters wide, or if you work in inches, that works out to be 4 inches wide. And then I've trimmed my photos down to 3x4 inches. However, I did want to have the same as the sketch and have a lovely frame and a neat even space between all of my photos. I'm really fussy about that. I like to have everything really nice and neat. So I had to figure out a measurement that would work best for me to be able to have that. And it worked out to be 7.3 by 9.5 centimeters, which is a very exact measurement, I know, but that will give you the nice even space in between each photo on your mat. Now I appreciate some of you may work in inches, and the good thing about that is on your Creative Memories trimming board you have inches that run directly above centimeters. It's a very exact measurement to convert to inches, so if you just work with the centimeter strip on your cutting board and you get to your 9.5 centimeters by your 7.3, that will give you a perfect sized photo for backing onto your matted piece. We're going to have that running through the middle of our background paper. I've chosen this beautiful aqua brushed effect paper. It reminded me of the water at the beach. And the next thing I'm going to do is work on my little half circle that you can see coming through the top of the sketch here. To cut my circle, I'm going to use my jumbo circle to do so, and I'm going to use my blue blade. Now, because I like to conserve as much paper as I can and really only use what I need to, I'm just going to cut half a circle. So I'm just going to line up approximately halfway on my circle and use my blue blade. So I'm just going to make sure my little nodules are hooked in, and then cut out my half circle. And that way the remaining paper we can use for another project. So we've got our half circle that will be just slightly off center over to the side here. Now for something different, I thought I'd like to add a decorative edge around my circle, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the lovely scallop burst border punch and team it with this sand printed paper. So we'll line that up into our punch. So we just keep lining up our border like so. You're going to want to bring in your trimming board, and we're going to need to trim off our little scalloped edge as close as we can without cutting into these punched out pieces. So I've lined it up to around about 2 centimeters, or if you work in your inches, that looks to be about 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to trim that down, and you can see that gets it nice and close to these punched out pieces. So we've trimmed that down, and what we're going to need to do now is take our scissors. Just want to take your time in separating each piece, getting it nice and straight. Until you've trimmed and separated all of those pieces. Okay, so we'll put in place our photos. We want to have around halfway. And I'm just using my repositionable tape, which I love. It's my best friend. And we want to slide in our circle into position. And the next step, what we're going to do with all these little cut pieces is create our decorative little edge. So again, with our repositionable tape, we're just going to take the time to adhere these around the edge of your circle, and it sort of gives a nice, I don't know, doily effect or a little lacy effect around your circle. And this is a great technique that can be used really with lots of different designs. It works best obviously with your little scalloped edges, but it's fun to experiment and just see what punches that you can create this effect with. But the scallop burst was perfect for this design. And really, you should have enough from just one punch strip that will go evenly around your circle, like so. Okay, so you can see on your sketch here, we also have some layered strips that are tucked in behind our photos that don't quite run to the edge of your layout. This is where I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'd actually like to create some decorative borders that will run along the full width of my layout. So to create one of my borders, I'm going to use one of my most favourite tools, and that's the Border Maker system. And I'm going to slide some of my paper in. I love creating borders with this tool. It gives you so many options. We fold that bracket back. And I'm going to use the Flip Flops border cartridge, which I'll slide into the housing unit till it clicks. And we can just slot it in and start punching. If I can give you one tip for working with the Border Maker system, is when you're punching with your cartridge, do slide it all the way out before you reconnect. I have destroyed many a border because I was going too quick and in too big of a hurry, and I've slid it up my paper and I've torn my paper border. So always slide it out first before you reconnect. Okay, so you can see we're left with a very cute set of flip-flops. Now I need to bring in my trimming board, and we need to trim off the flip-flops so that it's pretty much the same width either side. And we're left with a cute strip like so. I'm then going to change my blade to the scallop edge blade, and I'm just going to layer some different papers to create a nice border. So I'll insert my scallop blade, and we want this piece to be just that little bit wider than our flip-flop strip. I'm just going to run it down to get my scalloped edge and then flip it because I want the scallop design to be the same on each side. I'm just going to lightly place my flip-flop border there on top so that I can line up where I'd like that to be. And you can see it's just slightly wider than my flip-flops. And I'm going to change my blade back to the straight edge blade and trim down a third piece. But what I'll do first is actually adhere my flip-flops in place so that it won't move about. Again, with just a little bit of repositional tape. And we get it nice and even so that we've got even space either side. And I'll come back with our blue piece of paper that we worked with before. If we position our flip-flop border over the top, and again we just want to see just a hint of the extra strip of paper behind what we've already created. And we've got our beautiful border. So I'm going to attach that to the bottom edge of my photos there. And as I said before, I've made mine go the full width of my page. And across the top edge here, I'm going to add one of the laser cut borders. So you can see there, we've pretty well got the foundation of the layout together, following on from the sketch. So really all that's left for me to do now is to add my decorative pieces. So my layout's all completed, following along with the sketch. And I've just added some simple embellishments. I've added my title up here with some of the leaves from the vitamin C collection, as well as the sun, and I've added in some of the palm trees from the laser cuts. And rather than adding some journaling, I've just adhered some cute little fishies from the sticker sheet. There's still plenty of room on there if you like to add a little bit of journaling, but I think I'm going to leave my layout as it is. Thanks for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my process video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.